What's up, guys? We're down here at Shadyside Dragway for their Memorial Day weekend race. Tonight is anything on 28 shootout. Tomorrow is OG 28s. So we're going up here in the next little bit to make our first test hit. Alright guys, test pass as you saw we spun. Went ahead and put the radials back on because John said the track felt pretty good. So I think it was just a lack of experience on that. We're going to see what we can do since the first round's coming up. We have Chris Moore, stick shift car. But right now, you know, the battle will be for us getting down. So we're going to just see what happens. John thinks the track felt pretty good, so there's no, you know, the only reason it didn't work was us figuring out stuff on the radial or on the slicks. So we're going to see. Round one win. Went out there and we actually hit the tires about 1 second in, but watching the video, especially Jake's, the car went right away. I'm pretty sure the steering wheel's straight. You know, anytime you align the car, put that bump steer kit, it's always a little nerve-wracking, but driving down the road, it seemed like it was straight. That being said, when it does pick up in the front, that could potentially change it some. I might check it here in a minute while I got time. Got back in it and pulled hard right the whole way, so we ended up adjusting the control arm, the passenger side, so we could put some rear steer in it and try to counter steer that. So next round we have Justin Harris, fast car. Been you know, I think it's been 4.0s, but the surface is obviously the equalizer. So hopefully our changes work and we can you know, get down it again and make it to the next round. Update, we got another round win. Still spun at the same spot, so we made some changes. Also adjusted the rear steer some more, and we're just figuring it out. But we got Adam Green next round. As always, you know, we have our car in theory should do well, but you know, anything's possible, especially on the surface, and we're fighting demons. So we'll see what happens. But hopefully, if we win this, we're into the finals, and that will put us against Kenneth Ward and Baby Shark, but did not count my chickens before my eggs, so we got to see if we get this win or not. Morning guys, sorry if my camera keeps fogging up, this thing is fighting me. But so last night you saw we lost in the semis. Cars is driving hard right no matter what we did. It did not want to listen, therefore it just couldn't get down the track under any sort of power. We ended up laying underneath this thing until about 2 in the morning, actually after 2 in the morning, and just completely realigned the rear end. Basically started from zero, took any rear steer out, reset pinion and everything. So today, here in a couple hours, we'll find out if we figure anything out or not. Because right now, you can't drive the car like the fact I made it as far as I did was all luck. So I'm gonna go through some data logs here in a moment from before, and just try to get a daytime tune-up built for this setup. If I had the old stator in, I wouldn't really worry, but this new stator has been kicking me in the teeth when it comes to controlling the power under these surfaces. So hopefully I can figure something out there. But otherwise, you know, cars hanging out. Just like I said, we spent a lot of time going over it. Really annoying to lose like that, but this is how it goes. Obviously. Something isn't happy, so the only way to fix it is to try things and see if it works. but based off what we did do last night, I feel like we did make a big step in the right direction. And if not, then I'll just park it till I get some time just to really go over everything. Because at the moment, you can't even make a much of a hit at all. So let me get this thing off the projects here in a moment and start kind of going over stuff. Alright guys, so let me give you a recap from Shady's side on the Labor Day weekend stuff. So this is a few weeks afterwards because I'm catching up on videos. But basically we went down there on slicks. First time we've ever been on slicks with a rear wheel drive car. I haven't ridden slicks since my front wheel drive days. And whereas that thing did mid 160s and a quarter, this thing does an eighth. So it's a whole different world, and the chassis and stuff definitely, with how the car is currently set up, is obviously very radial oriented. Friday night we tried to first hit, we tried it, blew them off, only got one test hit. Like, okay, let's back up, put the radials on. Well, then Friday night, every pass we fought a hard going right issue. As I covered some of this in the video, I'm just kind of going over it again. Then afterwards, we stayed out there till 2 o'clock in the morning, just realigning the whole rear of the car, everything. Saturday morning, jacked the front up a little bit, and noticed that we didn't like how the toe looked with the front extended, so just moved the bump steer spacers, and that took care of that. Go up there again, put the slicks back on, let's try this again. First hit, kills tires, doesn't do anything. Alright, so Sammy's like, alright, let's start moving the control arm. So leave the uppers where they're at, we start moving the lowers. We move the lowers, and we end up making a pretty good hit against Pearson for slicks. Excuse me. The car for the most part did decent. As the converter coupled, it started shaking the tires on me, so I ended up having to chop it, which you kind of see in the video a little bit there. But really, anytime we have slicks on, I'm gonna have to put the old converter or old stator back in there. It's just the way it couples so hard that on slicks it just chatters real bad. But anyways, we got down the track though, the best pass so far. And they were like, cool, let's try to go faster the next round. We ended up getting Jeff Plemons the next round. He's been out in Georgia when I've been down there. It's an LDR car. I think he's been bottom fours, but this surface is just not how it's happening. Nobody that day is going bottom fours on that surface. Excuse me. We ended up just putting too much in it. Car, as you saw in the video, knocks tires off right away. And then as we get out further, he's already out pretty far, and I put some steam in it for sure. And once again, as the converter couples started shaking again, so I end up having to chop it. And I had short shifted at this point. Well, the way the shifter stuff is set up, there is a minimum time before it will trigger the shift. The way you don't go out there, spin, have the car trigger the shift, and sometimes that's a good way to hit a wall, because as you spin, it'll shift into high gear, really get the wheel speed up, and then at that point, I've seen a few guys put on the wall that way. So it has a minimum time it has to be in off the trans brake, excuse me, before a shift. Well, it never saw the shift RPM, but what? So actually, it never saw it down low, but it saw it at the top as we're getting close to the traps. And you may not notice it on the in-car video, but you'll notice that I kind of get out of it, back in and out of it a little bit. Well, I felt the car lay over, and I was like, what the heck, I thought that was kind of weird. It was definitely too low to be a limiter. Looking through the log after that, and what happened, since I did not meet the shift RPM yet, when I did meet it down track, I had it pulling at like 11 degrees on a shift. So that's what happened, is I pulled 11 degrees out, and the car just fell on its face. So it did not like that. So, anyways, that was our time on slicks there. So we're going to put them back on. Next year there's going to be at least 4 races at Shadyside that are very slick oriented, and they're going to pay a lot of money. So I want to get good at it. For the simple fact that I want to know anyways. That's just how I am. I want to know things. So going to put the slicks back on for next year for sure, and maybe something this year, I don't know. Right now, it's the end of September, but we'll see. But right now, radials are what's on the car. But yeah, so that was our first time out on slicks. You guys say, everybody was like, man, the car will be super unstable, yada yada. It really wasn't, which was a nice surprise, because I get plenty of other surprises that suck. And I did not apologize, guys, man. These long days get me. But the slicks were not unstable at all. Not saying they won't be eventually. Not saying there won't be a moment in time that the pucker moment. But currently they were fine and smooth. Just gotta learn them. Anytime you're trying to learn something, it can be annoying. But once it's figured out, it'll be pretty cool. But anyways, appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.